Here is Pauline Kael's first printed review, San Francisco's City Lights magazine, October 29th, 1952, called Slimelight, a review of Charlie Chaplin's Limelight. Chaplin's high-minded and sentimental view of the theater and himself. His exhortations about life, courage, consciousness, and truth are set in a self-pitying, self-glorifying story. As Calvero, the old, impoverished English clown, he appears at a gala benefit and shows the unbelievers who think him finished that he is still the greatest, and then dies in the wings as the applause fades. This is surely the richest hunk of self-gratification since Huck and Tom attended their own funeral, and Chaplin serves it up straight. The mediocrity of Calvero's stage routines may be the result of Chaplin's aiming at greatness. At one point, Calvero awaits a young ballerina, played with considerable charm by Claire Bloom, and danced with authority by Melissa Hayden. In the darkened theater, after she has performed, he says to her, "My dear, you are a true artist, a true artist." And the emphasis is on his eyes, his depth of feeling. And is it because Chaplin didn't talk on screen until late in his career that he doesn't seem to have a dramatic instinct for language? He talks high-mindedly and incessantly. Thank you for listening. But let me read to you what Brian Kellow, in his biography, wrote of this review. Let's see here. Just got back from the eye doctor, and I hard to read this small print. But it was a movie Pauline disliked that was to provide the unexpected turning point in this difficult phase of her life. In the fall of 1952, as she and a friend were sitting in a Berkeley coffee house, arguing about a film they had both seen recently, sitting nearby was Peter D. Martin, who recently had launched a magazine, City Lights, devoted to film commentary. Martin was intrigued by the stream of articulate, independent opinion he heard Pauline expressing, and he asked her if she would like to review the new Chaplin picture, Limelight, for City Lights. Limelight was a heavy-handed, strangely charmless tale of a down-at-the-heels English comic, Calvero, played by Chaplin, written off by his peers and public, who gets one last chance to show what he can do. The press treated it respectfully, but Pauline found it embarrassingly sentimental, and with its irritating references to Chaplin's own neglect in Hollywood, nothing more than a testament to himself. Her review reveals that her critical voice was still in the process of assembling itself, but all the intimations of what she would become are there. She wrote that Chaplin, at this point in his career, was playing to a somewhat segmented art film audience, and no longer the mass audience that had thrilled to his performances as the Little Tramp. When the mass audience becomes convinced that the clown who had made them laugh was really an artist, they felt betrayed, she observed. Now, that was in the review. It's not in what I have here that claims to be the full text. She thought that Chaplin had become too serious, so that his view of his character Calvero was fatally high-minded. The Chaplin of Limelight is no irreverent little clown. His reverence for his own ideas would be astonishing, even if the ideas were worth consideration. They are not, and the context of the film exposes them at every turn. She thought the stage benefit that provides the climax of the film, in which Calvero proves that his comedic gifts have not deserted him after all, and dies in the wings, was surely the richest hunk of self-gratification since Huck and Tom attended their own funeral. Chaplin, she felt, was trying to even the score with those who had attacked him for his morals or his politics, or those who had simply forgotten him. To her, the central conceit, the lie of the movie, was driven home in the scene in which Calvero praises a young ballerina, Claire Bloom, he has rescued. My dear, you are a true artist, a true artist. The camera emphasis on Chaplin's eyes, wrote Pauline, the emotion on his voice, are intended to give depth to his words. This ghastly mistake in judgment and taste, this false humility which proclaims his own artistry in the act of asserting another's, is not a simple mistake. It is integral to the creative mind which produces a limelight. Pauline had managed her first piece of writing about the medium that meant more to her than any other. While she continued to work on her stories and her play scripts, deep down she had the feeling that, at the age of 33, she might have found herself as a writer at last.